volunteer professionals available for periods of 3 months to 2 years to work with our local partners to help them to develop their abilities, skills, and competencies to be able to carry out their own programs for the future. Volunteering is not only a means, such as delivering skills to local community, but it is also an end, because we know that in order to have sustainable, to overcome poverty and lead to growth and development, societies need not only to be financial investment, but that they also need to be able to produce jobs and have economic growth. They need the means to support healthy, vibrant, dynamic civil societies. And we know that volunteering is at the foundation of any healthy society. Haran, are you here? There? Yes. And the Ethiopian Association. Mahalet, are you here? Yay! Everybody's kind of congregated on this side for our partners. But thank you. They have filled the room. I'm sure you're all aware of these associations, and CUSO International could not do the work we do without our diaspora partners, so thank you again. CUSO International has been around and working in Ethiopia since 2009, and tonight we will engage stories of returned volunteers. They're sitting at the front waiting to tell their story. We'll share information on diaspora work and on our organizations, and what we'll do through food, conversation, is we'll celebrate the work that's being done to support our international development goals and the strategic poverty reduction priorities of the MDGs, the Millennial Development Goals.
When I came to Canada, my objective was to help my kids. I have at that time 2 kids, and I added another 2, and 4 kids. My main objective was, here, my responsibility was for my children, and I forgot all about my country. But years passed, my kids left me when they were 18, 19, they went to college, and I was left alone again. Then I started thinking about my past. That triggered me, what did I do to my country? What did I give back? Those kind of questions, so many sleepless nights, I passed. So one time, a guy who lives in Regina, he volunteered, I think, with CUSO, and he came back to Saskatchewan, and he told me that, what he did. Right there, I thought of voluntary. This guy who never been in Ethiopia, who never got education like I got from the people, for free, for sure. At my time it was free, I don't know now, but it was, in my time it was free education in college, in primary educations. So that thing motivated me, and I said 2 years to volunteer. I just did my 1 year volunteering with CUSO in Ethiopia, in Afar. Before I volunteered, I prepared myself. I thought I prepared myself. There are some things, like Tina said, things doesn't go as planned. Like, for example, the weather is unbelievable change. Many of you probably know Saskatchewan, it goes as cold as like minus 35, 40, minus 40 degrees centigrade. And the place I went is the other side of the temperature. To top with that, there is a dust storm. Those kind of things, your skin completely gets upset, you get skin rash and very itchy, and those kind of things I was not prepared. But for the challenges of the peoples, I volunteered in Afar Afar is the northeastern part of Ethiopia. It's
This
fairly
university
new
is
university,
completely
new, when I reached there. They are establishing information technology department, and then I was part of it. So for me, it is an opportunity to know who these people are. The people are, they are nomads. Mostly they depend on pastoralization or trades, something like that. Very innocent people that you will find on earth. By the way, the first humankind found near to the place I work, Lucy was found right there. So they have a history of humankind, for millions, probably years. They taught me a lot of things. My expectation before I left was, one of the things was to learn the culture while giving back, whatever knowledge I have to the community. But also I set aside, some of the things that they don't have the practical aspect of it, but they do have the knowledge. If you can ask them about networking, like for example, how can you network, department to department? These guys can tell you, your mouth is open, but they don't know the exact networking, practically. So what I did is, why not I create one? I created one. Just created an email system, just in our department, ICT department, and I added their name. I built, active control. They call it active control. I created that one, and I added everybody, and I made that one, and I exchanged information with them. Oh, this is very simple, very easy. We can do this. Expand it to other departments. So I saw the students struggling, with their. I'm very good in physics and mathematics. I learned here very good. So I thought, why not teaching, So I take these guys, I buy them chat. I don't cheat, but they cheat. I also volunteer for them. And this boy, he's like 21, 22 years old, and that year he must graduate. And one of his weaknesses was that physics class he was taking. So I picked this one, and the other one is, I don't have her picture, but I'll tell you the story, is that one too. She's also very poor in software development. So I get them every day. They come to my house between 11 o'clock and 3, 4 o'clock. We do physics and software development. That gives me, satisfies a little girl who is about 12 years old. She's actually my neighbor, but her father gave her up to get married, and that pissed me off. I have children, so I offered to help there. The father, I told him that I will do anything for the girl to go back to school, and the father agreed. Now I'm going back in April, to finish that aspect, because I promised to help that girl to go to school and learn music. So I bought a piano, and I'm going back in April.
Welcome to Paul Vander Venen's law office. How can I help you? My name is Paul Vander Venen. I'm an immigration lawyer, and I've been representing Ethiopian and other African clients in Ontario since 1987. My office is at 45 St. Nicholas Street, which is near Yonge and Bloor, and it's been my pleasure to be representing refugee claimants as well as other immigration matters for all these years, and I want to thank the community very much. Thank you.
Volunteering in Ethiopia to share my skills, and I'm volunteering tonight to share that experience. So I'll start off by saying a little about my motivation. I have a strong desire to help, to share my skills in project monitoring and evaluation, to give back the community I come from. Like Balai said, I too went to school in Ethiopia to the university level, and education at that time was free. So I always had that urge to give back to the Ethiopian community. So also to escape the winter, the Canadian winter, and also to be in Ethiopia for an extended period. I don't know if the Habeshas know that aspect. A small NGO, local NGO, Ethiopian NGO called ISAPSO. ISAPSO stands for Integrated Services for AIDS Prevention and Support Organization. So the picture you see here is one of the projects the NGO has working out throughout Ethiopia. I think they work in 4 regional states. What I did was just, I had to go through the entire organization's work system and try to design and develop how the way they collect data and report them. They don't have a regular reporting tools, so I have to design and just bring everything through this system. So that once I left, I leave the place so that they have this thing for them. So pretty much did this and provided training to staffs in working with database. So yeah, that was for me because totally my expectation why I went there and what actually have done. In fact, just I learned a lot because I went there to share my skills in projects, but through doing this, I learned a lot in IT area myself. So sometimes we think that we are going to share things, sometimes we also learn through experience.